Kempire is brought to you by the Kempire After Dark live experience returns to New York City this Friday, February 21st for Black History Month. We're going to be talking about everything in Housewives, Hot Topics, Diddy, Jay-Z, Wendy Williams, and so much more. And don't feel like you're left out because for the very first time in a while, we will also be making this available via live stream. Get your tickets today. All ticket information will be available in the episode notes. I will see you soon, New York City. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Here we go now. Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. I appreciate you all for being here and for watching. We have a lot to unpack. This is our final recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. At least I think so. I can't promise you that I will be even interested, based off the cast that we have left, if I would be interested in continuing to recap Love and Marriage Huntsville. Some of you have said that you don't even watch the show. You wait for me to go to talk about it. Okay? Oh, wait, I got a couple of comments that I'm saving that I want to mention. But first, today's live recap is brought to you by our friends over at Factor Meals. As you know, I have a very busy lifestyle. You have a very busy lifestyle. The week ahead is probably going to be very busy for you. I know it's going to be busy for me because, as you know, the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to New York City this Friday. So I got a lot going on, but Factor Meals makes it so easy because you get dietitian approved, chef crafted meals, and you can make those in 2 minutes by just popping it in the microwave and you're ready to go. All right. So Factor says, ready to optimize your nutrition this year. Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. So you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. And get this, because I know some of you are still on your weight loss journey. Always here. Okay. Lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals based on randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto. Results will vary depending on diet and exercise. So, of course, we've gotten you a deal. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information on Factor Meals will be available in the description. All right. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok behind the scenes, those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and free. Thank you to the 171 of you that have already liked the video. We appreciate the support. And shout out to those of you that are listening in church. Hold on. Danielle says, I'm in church with my earbuds waiting for Kempire. Pastor, Danielle is in church listening to our tomfoolery and trying to get the word. I appreciate the multitasking, Danielle. Oh, Danielle. Sierra says, where is my friend Kempire? I'm holding on to taking my morning shower so I can watch live. Yeah, I'm playing Sierra. I hear you, Sierra. We appreciate that. But why not? I watch, sometimes when I'm taking a shower, I have my phone right there on the little sill, whatever you want to call it, little platform. Why not? Here goes someone else in church. Let's go, Kempire. Church ended just in time for me to catch your line. Oh, the Lord go get y'all.
Yes, honey.
The Lord is going to get y'all. But no, it's okay. It's all right. I appreciate how loyal you guys are. I appreciate loyalty. So thank you, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. So, we've been talking a lot about Love and Marriage Huntsville this week. Our friend Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast was just here this week because she had brought some information to me in a recent interview. And I said, oh, God, not another one and another one and another one. So I said, okay, I think we need to lay out all of the people that have had accusations about Carlos in the last year alone. So we went all the way back and we did our Surviving Carlos documentary. Okay, was it a real documentary? Not really, but we laid out all of the information. Okay, we laid out all of the information in regards to people that have had accusations against Carlos King. Fine. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. I look, I had to pat myself on the back. I was like, I did a good job of getting that information. But I also appreciated having Taria there to add context to some of the things that I just can't keep up with all the interviews and the conversations, all the tea and I can't keep up with all that. So I was happy for her. And also to give a female perspective, a Black female perspective that is also necessary because I'm also not ignorant to the fact I am a Black male. Okay, so there are things that I just won't see, and we've talked about that so many times here on the channel. When it comes to children, when it comes to being a man, when it comes to being a gay man, there's a lot of stuff. Okay. Anyways, so if you missed that, our mods will be posting links. Hey mods, they'll be posting links in the live chat so you guys can check it out. I also posted an audio version. A lot of you eating up the audio version on YouTube. I mean, the audio version does well on the podcast, but on the YouTube version, I was like, oh, not all y'all eating that one up. Okay. Anyways, so we did that this week. So we've been talking a lot about Love and Marriage Huntsville, more than we normally would. Okay. But I think after today, despite maybe news and information that comes out, we will not be talking so much about Love and Marriage Huntsville, hopefully. Just asking. Look, I'm just asking, but we'll see. We'll see. So let me open my notes for Love and Marriage Huntsville's final part of their reunion. And I know there's been a lot of conversation on why haven't they talked about Kiki this season? Why haven't they talked about Kiki this season? And I told you, I think it's probably out of respect for what's been going on behind the scenes when it comes with Tisha and her family not getting along. But I'm glad that they did actually talk about Kiki because she was a part of the show, and apparently they did film some sort of memorial that Tisha had held for Kiki. Okay? But before we get there, as you know, last week's episode ended with Martell making a joke that, yes, he did in fact sleep with Trisha, and Trisha was confused. She's like, what? And he's like, I'm just joking. So Carlos looks at Ken, do you think that joke is funny? And Ken is like, no, I don't think it's funny. But that's what Martell has been doing throughout the entire season, but not making jokes. He's been insinuating that something may have happened, which is so disrespectful when nothing probably didn't happen. Here's the thing. Martell's a liar. Do I believe that Trisha lied about what may have happened on that day? Yes. But do I believe that they actually did anything, that anything romantic ever happened between them? Honestly, at this particular point, I'm going to say no. Even though Trisha has shown us that she can lie through her teeth, I believe that she didn't sleep with him. I do believe that. But Ken does point out that she omitted information and he didn't like that. And that's what upset him about the situation. And also Martell's innuendos that he made throughout the season. Okay, so they talk about that. So Ken says that, he didn't like the joke. And then when they try to move on, Melody, which Melody was producing in this moment, she produced in part 3 a couple of times. And she's just like, oh, so Martell, you don't have anything to say? You always got all this mouth for women, but you ain't got nothing to say to this man? I didn't see that coming. Mind you, Melody said she wasn't talking to Martell in this reunion. Okay? All right? So I was surprised that she was even addressing him, but she had a point. Well, he's like, oh, I talked to Marceau and Maurice. No, Melody had a point because, and literally in this same maybe few minutes when Melody brought that up and Maurice starts laughing, he gets so mad at Maurice. Now I understand why Melody said that she felt like that side of the room were the Martellometers. Because it felt like he was, I don't know what he has on these people, but it felt like he was trying to keep them in line. Because when Maurice was like, Asawi, I love you. Sorry, Maurice. But not really. When he started laughing because he thought it was funny, I think we all thought it was funny because yeah, Martell, you have all this mouth for women, but you don't have that same mouth for this big man. Where's that energy? And when Maurice starts laughing, he gets so upset. So upset. And he's like, shut the F up. Shut the F up. And he's like, what? What she said was funny. Okay. So he gets mad at Maurice for laughing. And then within the same breath, Nell is telling him, stop yelling in my ear. He's ready to argue and give the stank face to Nell. You just proved Melody correct.
Is this, honey?
You just proved her correct. You don't have any energy for this big man. But as soon as Nell says, stop yelling in my ear, you ready to argue with Nell. And I'm really shocked, but again, we're watching edited show. I'm shocked at Chris Fletcher's reaction because there ain't no way you're going to be talking to my wife like that or anyone I love like that. And I would have said, this is exactly what Melody's talking about. You just proved her right within a matter of seconds. You got more energy for Nell than you did for this man over here. And now you mad at Maurice Luther King for giggling at something that was actually funny. He's like, I thought it was funny. It was funny. It was funny. Anyways, so Maurice and Martell have a little bit of a moment. Okay. I don't blame Nell. Nell's like, stop hollering in my ear. But then Martell's tell Fletcher to ignore. Oh, wait. Rewind. So Melody then asks Chris, because it's so funny. This is where I felt like Melody was producing, because she then, when Carlos is trying to talk about something else, Melody skips over the whole Trisha and Martell stuff. She's like, Chris, so can you talk about how you introduced Martell and the Trisha situation? You saw how she just jumped over what Carlos was asking, and she was just sort of like, let's get to what Chris did in the situation. And then Martell, this is why you have to really pay attention. I had to rewind so many times in my second watch. I know, poor me. Woo, 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 Kempire.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. I had to rewind because luckily we had the editors add what the people were saying under their breath. Because Martell says under his breath to Chris, don't answer that, ignore that. And Nell was like, you better answer that and answer truthfully. So, but did you guys notice that? Martell telling Chris Fletcher, don't answer that. So Chris does answer it. It makes me wonder, like, so what really did happen? Did it actually happen the way that it was said? I don't know. Something's very weird about the situation, but to be honest with you, after today, we really don't care. We don't care anymore. Okay. Carlos asks Trisha about training Martell. And Trisha says that, because and Carlos was very shady, because he's like, so you went to, usually someone's house has, if they're going to have a gym, they're going to have a bench, they're going to have weights, they're going to have this. And she says, well, what she knew after finding out the location, she's just like, oh, this is a really nice, through her teeth as usual. This is a really nice area. Okay, girl. Every week. It's just like, just open up your mouth. So she says that she figured that they were going to work out in his clubhouse. And then she says to Martell, like, you guys have a clubhouse, right? And he's like, yes. But Ken believes that Martell's intentions were nefarious and that Martell was trying to get her over there. All right. But then Carlos says, so you went over this married man's house to train him? So shady, so messy. And so he says, did you know about Melody and Martell being married? She's like, I didn't know about their relationship until I met Martell and he told me about their relationship. So Carlos says, so there's nothing. Wait, so you never watched the show? Carlos, there are plenty of people that don't watch your show. Plenty of people. And plenty of people in Huntsville. And I'm sure Huntsville was probably annoyed that you make it seem like there's nothing else going on in Huntsville besides watching your lame show. You do realize that watching what they watch in Huntsville has access to the internet. Huntsville's probably watching us right now. Hey, Huntsville. They don't have to watch your show to know anything. But do I believe that Trisha knew nothing about Melody and Martell's relationship? No, I think she was lying. But I have to defend Huntsville for a second. But I do believe that Trisha was lying because even if you didn't watch the show, these are people that you know about in the area because of the show. Or even beyond that, you knew his brother. You knew his brother. So I don't understand how you would not know that he was married. It is a small town. And we know how small towns go. People know everyone's business. So I don't believe that Trisha had no idea that Martell was married when she went up to his house. I think she's trying to cover up to make it seem like, yeah, why would I go over a married man's house? Girl, just say the truth. Like, I thought we were going to work out in a clubhouse. I knew he was married, but I wasn't going there for that. But instead, she decides like, well, no, I didn't watch the show. And Ken was like, yeah, we didn't watch the show. But didn't Ken want to be on the show? Okay. But I also didn't love the fact that Carlos was trying to make it seem as if Huntsville has nothing else better to do than watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. Honestly, if y'all didn't make me watch the show, I wouldn't be watching it here in New York. So I'm sure people in Huntsville have better things to do, like read a book so they can pronounce words appropriately. The amount of people on this cast that were mispronouncing words that we use every day, I was just like, heard it and test message and Eastern and I can't. This is why I'm also looking forward not to watch the show. Maybe on a Sunday I can sit in bed on a rainy day like today and read a book. Shout out to Huntsville. And I'm sure there's so many things that you could actually do in Huntsville that besides watching television. Okay? Shanice says, not you shading the entire city. I shaded the entire city? I was talking about the people on this cast. I wasn't talking about the city. I said the city probably has much better things to do than watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. Anyways, moving on. So, remember last week or the previous week? I think it was the previous week. Or maybe it was last week. I can't remember. I told you that I felt as if maybe that scene between Trisha and Ken was filmed after the reunion. Well, based off of what we saw during the reunion, I said Andy. Carlos asked them about that tense conversation. So clearly it was filmed before the reunion. Look, I correct myself here. Okay. Hold on. Hey, Tabby. Tabby says, well, Kempire, it's rainy in New York City, and that's why I want to do, and that's what I want to do, but you're live, so it's your fault. You can still do it after this. We won't be live that long. Okay. We won't be live that long. All right. Moving along. So they talk about the tense conversation, and he says that apparently they got over that tense conversation, even though he stormed out of there. And he says that this is how Trisha fights in regards to what she said in that conversation about, you're the only one thinking about Martell. You're the one who brings up Martell all the time. Okay. So apparently they got over whatever that fight was, but that was a pretty tense fight. I don't know. I feel like when you go that low, it's hard to come back from that. But apparently they were able to come back from that. After watching the season finale and that last part, I said to myself, I was like, so it's over between them, right? Apparently not. So Ken says that Trisha didn't tell the truth when he had asked her multiple times. So there are a lot of red flags because he said this was the only thing that she's ever really lied to him about. Well, this is a major thing. And if you're lying about something like this, it makes me look at you like, And she didn't have to lie about it, especially because it's major, but at the same time, it's not that major. So the fact that you're lying about it makes you look at you like, why are you lying about this? The same with you're lying about not watching the show. She may have not watched it chapter and verse, but at the same time, I do believe she knew that Martell was married to Melody and you knew about this show. Who reached out to Ken and Trish to be on the show? Or did they reach out? You guys usually know this information because that will dispel a lie real quick. Because didn't someone tell me or a few of you told me in the live chat that Ken was the one who wanted to be on the show? Anyways, So he says that when he asked Trisha about the whole Martell stuff, she lied to him multiple times. And he says that even when she admitted it, she was still kind of beating around the truth, beating around the bush. When Carlos asked Martell if he owes Trisha an apology, he's like, what do I need to apologize for? Here's the thing. Did I expect, if Martell had apologized to Trisha, I would be like, wow, you could apologize to Trisha, but you can't apologize to your wife for all the things that you've done? But he doesn't. He can never apologize. So he's like, what do I need to apologize for? Martell. Anyway, so of course this segment with Trisha, Ken, and Marquez happens. How did you guys feel about Marquez? First of all, I liked Marquez's look. He looked great. Okay. Marquez looked great. I think he looked great. But as I always tell you guys, someone can be good looking, but the minute you get to know their personality, at least for me, it's just like, especially what we know about Marquez. And I don't care how many interviews Marquez is going to do. Marquez is not innocent in this situation. We can dislike Trisha, we can dislike Ken, and Ken could want to be a martyr and always bring up all the things that he does for Trisha and those kids. I think they're all lame. I think they're all weird. But I know Marquez is not innocent. I know if Marquez is acting the way that he's acting on here, it's very clear to me that this is how he's probably acting worse off camera. Marquez is not innocent. All right? Mr. Melvin Magic says Marquez is a beautiful liar. Marquez is not innocent. And if anything, the only truth tellers in this situation were the kids. So pay attention to how the kids treated their father. When his son, Xavier, pulled him away from talking crap to the cast, asking him to stop. I'm going to listen to the kids. I don't care what Trisha and Ken have to say. I'm going to listen to the kids. Marquez is not innocent. So they go back and forth. Marquez says that Ken and Trisha have alienated him from being with his kids. Okay. All right. Ken, of course, look, I want to give Ken his due in regards to stepping up and trying to be a positive role in Trisha's kids' lives, okay? However, I do think there's this thing that he does that we've seen throughout the season that he wants to be the martyr, okay? So some of the things that he's pointing out, I get it. Some of it's out of frustration because he's like, Marquez, you're not going to come up here and make yourself seem like you're innocent, that we've pushed you out of these kids' lives, that we haven't supported you, paid for things, and try to have you come to be with the kids. I get that frustration, okay? But you remember the season finale when they argued, the minute they got into a serious argument, Ken wanted to bring up everything that he's done for Trish. Trish, pay attention to that, okay? Pay attention to that. The minute you guys had your issues, he said, I pay for all of this. What are your kids going to, explain to your kids when they're not able to do stuff? The minute he said that showed me who Ken is. He proved my point that he is trying to be a martyr in your life. Because the minute you guys had an issue, he used that over your head. He used it over your head. That said everything that I need to know. But Marquez, you're not innocent either. You're trash too. You're trash too. I don't care if you look like an R&B singer from the 90s. I don't care. All right? I don't care if you cute. Okay, you're cute, and they're cute as a dime a dozen. Okay, maybe not in maybe not in Huntsville. Huntsville, y'all not getting, I am playing with y'all, Huntsville. Shout out to Huntsville, okay? Should I go to Huntsville? Should I go? Why? Wait, no, isn't there something there for me to see in Huntsville? Y'all let me know. Anyways. So, there's no person except Trisha and Marquez kids that I'm rooting for in this situation. There's no one. Anyways. I've digressed. So they want to get an update in regards to, well, first of all, Marquez says he's co-parenting with two narcissists. Marquez, you're not winning me over. You learned a new word. You're not winning me over. Okay? He's like, I'm co-parenting with two narcissists. No, you're co-parenting with three, including yourself. Okay. So in regards to their divorce, so apparently Mark, this is where it scared me. He was like, "Yeah, I haven't seen any paperwork in regards to a divorce." So so that Trisha's still my wife. What? Look,
What is this, honey?
it's a little scary. Okay. This is like, yeah, Trisha's still my wife. Ken reveals, well, she's filed the paperwork. If he doesn't respond in 30 days, I guess the divorce will be final. But didn't we hear that they're still married? So what happened with those 30 days? This was filmed back in October. What happened with those 30 days? Does anyone know? Do we have an update? Is the divorce finalized? Because I'm getting mixed information. Marquez gets into it with Ken. There's a big back and forth between these two. Marquez stands up. He says, "I got a recording where he says that DNA doesn't make you a father. DNA doesn't make you a father." And he's like, "It doesn't. It doesn't." So Carlos goes over to him and just like, "Sit down. This is what we do." He's like, "But y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all don't want to hear me." So Carlos is "Sit down. Sit down." This moment's coming up. Okay. He's like, "Sit down. This is what we do at reunions. We have the conversation so that we can find resolution." So Marquez sits down. He has some sort of audio of Ken saying that, whatever. I'm sure he'll play it at some particular point. Carlos goes to sit down and she's like, "This is what we do at reunions. We try to find resolution." And then he says that, and then he's just like, "So, you got a crush on Melody?"
That. So nasty.
And that's what happened.
So rude.
What? What? So you have a crush on I thought we were trying to resolve what happened over here. Why did we go from this intense moment between Marquez, Trish, and Ken? We're trying to find resolution. Okay. So you have a crush on Melody? So it leads into this whole situation. You want to give Melody her flowers, so they take the flowers off the table. And he's like, "Well, I just want to have I want to meet with her to talk business and things like that." And he looks at Martell and he's like, "Is it okay?" And look at Martell's face. Martell's face is like, Melody's not interested in this man. Okay. But you don't know. Okay. I mean, I don't think Melody's interested in this man at all. But you look at Carlos. So excited about this. So excited about this. I thought we were supposed to find resolution, Carlos. Not quite. So he says that he just wants to have a conversation about business. Melody says, "Yeah, every time he's talked to me, it's always been about business." Okay. Ken tries to make it seem as like, well, it's the same as what Martell was trying to do with Trish. And it's like, no, Melody's like, the difference here is that he's not coming over my house. Okay. I don't even care about that scene because if we're really trying to find resolution, if we're really trying to not just be messy television, why not continue the conversation and find resolution? Kimmy seemed like she was trying to at least broker some sort of resolution between Trish, Ken, and Marquez. She's like, "Don't you want a man that's going to be there for your children and support your children? Don't you want that?" But busybody Carlos is trying to bring it. It literally went from the seriousness of this conversation between these three to, "So you got a crush on Melody?" Really? It was. There were a few moments in the reunion that was sort of like, wait, why are we moving on already? It's weird. But again, Carlos Productions. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, all of you, for 600 likes already. But we have 2,000 people in here. Can we get to 1,000 likes? If you're a member of the channel, I will be dropping the calling link for you guys first on the post tab here on YouTube. But keep liking the video. It's easy and it's free. And don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. Shout out to those of you that have already given us a 5-star review. We appreciate it. If you haven't, all 2,000 of you right now could go and do that right now. All right? Thank you. All right. Anyways, moving on from there. So we go from this segment with the couples out there to another segment where the women are just there. And mind you, the majority of the reunion probably should be just the women, to be honest. So they talk about the girls' trip that they took to St. Thomas. All right. So Carlos is like, I just like being here with the girls. Yay! Just saying. And Nell says Nell and Destiny were the only two of the crew that said they didn't have a good time on the girls' trip. Nell, I don't understand why you didn't have a good time on the girls' trip. Are you still harboring resentment and upset over you not having a name tag? You, of all people, should not have an issue. Why do you have an issue? Why did Nell have an issue, y'all? What happened during this girls' trip that Nell was just like, she didn't have a good time? Nell, put your hand up. Okay? Put your hand up. Anyways, so Tisha's main complaint about the girls' trip, she had a good time on the girls' trip overall, but her main complaint were the room assignments because she felt, we talked about this already, but we're going to talk about it briefly again. She felt like the room assignments reflected how Melody felt of the group, which is probably true. It's probably true. Kimmy says, and she brings up, she's like, Melody, we were filming with you in your backyard for nothing. Because Carlos is like, was it because you guys are OGs that you felt like you were entitled to a better room? Okay. And she was like, Melody, we were filming with you in your backyard for nothing because you wanted to have a TV show. For nothing. So she felt like it was disrespectful. And she also felt like she was caught in the crossfire because of the whole Destiny coming on the trip and things like that. So your main concern, Kimmy, isn't about Tisha, isn't about Destiny. It's the fact that you were caught in this crossfire. But the fact that you brought up that Melody you did this for nothing in the very beginning of this show. You did this for nothing because Melody wanted to be on TV. And some of you hit me up on Twitter when I pointed this out and said, well, Kimmy has said from the beginning, she didn't want to be on TV. She didn't want to do this. She's done it for how many seasons now? 6 years they've been doing this show? I know it's 9 seasons, but come on. Funny seasons over here. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, Kimmy, don't sit here and act as if you haven't profited from being on this show. The same show that you were sitting in her backyard doing for nothing has reaped you rewards, not only from the paycheck that you're receiving, which I hear is not that much, allegedly, but it's helped your other opportunities and businesses. Look, I get it. You at the beginning, you did it for nothing, but you reaped rewards since being on this show. And if you didn't want to do it, you didn't have to do it because you're a grown adult. You still don't have to do it. You could have did that first season. We're gonna do the show for you, but I never wanted to be on it. I'm gonna get out of here. There are a lot of people that do things for free in the beginning because they're like, you know what? I'm gonna support a friend, but also I'm gonna reap rewards. I looked at that, I was like, Kimmy, so you're holding a grudge. You're holding this over your friend's head from over 6 years ago. I did this for free. And the fact that you didn't give me the best room over a room, you're going to bring that up over a room. This is why I loved on Real Housewives of Potomac when Stacey came in, when they were trying to haze Stacey and take advantage, she's a newbie. We're going to give her the worst room. She came in like a boss because she's an Aries woman. She came in like a boss. She's like, I love bunk beds. I always wanted to sleep in a bunk bed. This is fantastic. Because you're not spending the majority of your time during a trip in this room. And you're not spending weeks and weeks here. But okay, fine. Fine. Okay. Moving on. Look, moving on. That's what stood out to me. That's what stood out to me personally. I was just like, okay. And then look, everyone's going to have a difference of opinion on regards to that. Some people are going to feel, well, yeah, come on. Why wouldn't she get the best room? It wasn't like she was sleeping in squatters' quarters. Or maybe it was. Look. Maybe it was. Nasha says, honestly, I wouldn't care. And look, everyone's personality is going to be different. She still ended up having a good time on the trip. But the fact that we're still talking about it on this level, and then you're bringing up, oh, I did this show for free when you wanted to be on television, but it's reaped rewards for all of you. Okay. There's only so many times you're going to bring something up. Oh, I did this for you. Okay, you did this for me, so why are you still doing it? Because you're reaping rewards from doing it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because why would you continue to do it? Are you still doing this show 6 years later for Melody? Come on. Anyways, I literally said on Twitter, I was just like, where's the Kimmy that we know and love? Will the real Kimmy please stand up? But anyways, I've digressed. Anyway, so Kimmy said that she felt like she got caught in the crossfire. I think that's the biggest thing. I think if Tisha got the worst room, she wouldn't care. She'd be like, but I got a good room. She wouldn't care. She felt like she got caught in the crossfire. Okay. Moving on. So Nell says that she believed that the fame has gone to Melody's head. So this leads to a back and forth, and Melody gets up and she mimics Nell. Well, Nell, you're the one who always says everyone needs to fall in line, okay? She's the queen of the show. Literally, we've seen Nell say something similar during the season. So I do believe that Nell has said this, okay? So Nell, of course, the whole mentor and the counseling and all that continues to come up, okay? But Melody makes it a point. Kimmy tries to interrupt the conversation between Nell and Melody. Melody says that she's also been there for Nell over the years. But Nell's like, I've been more there for you and Martell than anything. And I believe that. That is the impression that we got, okay? So Melody, when interrupted by Kim, she's like, I just want to make sure that Nell hears me, that I appreciate you. And then they have a little bit of a conversation, really trying to find resolution as opposed to just saying it. Melody and Nell find, I think, resolution in that moment. Okay? And Melody wants to emphasize, I appreciate you. Look. And mind you, at this particular point, they had already resolved it during the season. But again, it's the reunion, so they rehash a lot of this stuff. And this was their first girls' trip. Their first girls' trip, because most of their trips are usually with their husbands. And it was some of my favorite episodes of this entire series. So then they talk about Melody and Destiny. Asawi, I know you. Why didn't they re-show that part in the hallway? And Destiny, girl, because Destiny was trying to make it seem... Oh, the reason why she was upset with Melody after the trip was because Melody was trying to make it seem that she was trying to paint the picture that Destiny was being needy and doing too much. First of all, she wasn't the only person saying it. There were other people saying that about your behavior, Destiny. Oh, she's got to sit next to Mel. She's whispering to Mel, oh, what, did you know that? Did you know that? And the Destiny's like, well, Melody was texting me. She was like, yeah, you kept on. You were everywhere I was. It was weird. And everyone else, Melody wasn't the only one commenting on that. The other people, including your friends, were like, Destiny is really always over there. What is going on? And literally in that hallway, let me set the scene for the very final time us talking about this. Asawi, I know you. Okay? Let me set the scene. So after they had that heated exchange at the dinner table, there was like a complete 180 from Destiny. She sees Melody from across the room in the hallway, sees her, and she's just like, Asawi, I love you. Asawi, I love you. That is what prompted us saying that. Because for me, it was sort of like, Destiny, like, you were all... like mad at her. Now all of a sudden you want to move on. So you remember in that moment in the hallway, Melody was just like, she hugged her and she was just like, we'll talk. We'll talk. I wish they would have played it again so that we could have enjoyed it. Just play that scene again. You know you wanted to, but they talked about it. But here's the thing. again, the editing of the show just sucks because they're getting back, they're going back and forth in regards to their issues. Carlos is like, well, it doesn't seem like we're going to find any resolution here. We're going to go to commercial and come back with our surprise guest. Did we even try to find resolution here? No, because he's not interested in finding resolution. Carlos is not interested in finding resolution because do I think there could be resolution with Destiny? Probably not. But I don't feel like, based off the edit, that there was a real effort to find resolution between these two women. We have to remember, though, for those that saw our Surviving Carlos documentary. Asawi, I know you. I distracted myself. I was like, wait, what's my thought? I don't feel like he's really trying to find resolution at all. There is no resolution, but we have to remember what was edited out of this reunion. And it looks as if they had every intention in sharing it because it was in the reunion description notes that Destiny accuses Melody and stupid Martell, sorry, but not, because he's sitting there grinning. He's like, oh, maybe you did say. They edited out the grooming allegations. It was in the description notes. We saw, look, I told you, OWN and all the people were sending all the violation note. Take it down, take it down, take it down, take it down. I took it down. It's still on Twitter. It's still on Twitter, not by me. So there is that element that we're not seeing. And that wasn't during the girls' conversation, the women's conversation, because remember, Martell was out there if you saw the clip. So there is that aspect. I can understand Melody's like, yeah, there is no resolution between me and Destiny. Anyways. Hey, Miss Esquire. Miss Esquire has been a member for 37 months. Hand clap emojis in the chat, y'all. Wow. Miss Esquire says, if you create an environment where you flex your power, can you be surprised people seek your approval? Guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes. Thank you so much. Shout out to those of you that have already liked the video. We appreciate the support. Guys, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to New York City this Friday. Go get your tickets today. There is also a live stream option available for those that are not in New York and those that are international around the States. And for those that keep asking, Kempire, we want to get a live stream option. Well, this will be exclusively for the New York City show. But if you're in New York City, make sure you get your tickets today so that we can meet each other, so that we can kiki with each other and have a good old time. And don't let a little snow deter you, because I will be there, okay? Rain, sleet, shine, snow, I will be there. Make sure you guys get your tickets today. More information on the Kempire After Dark live experience will be available in the description, okay? All right. Shout out to our King's Guards in the building. Shout out to our channel members. We appreciate you guys. We're going to drop the channel for our channel members, the call-in link. I'm going to drop it actually first for our senior royals because they deserve it, because they pay like $10 a month. Okay. Let me just drop this here for our senior royals first. Okay. And we're going to drop it for our Royal Court members in just a second after I discuss this next part. So Stormy comes out. So Stormy is a surprise guest. A lot of you already guessed who it would be. Okay. And so it was Stormy. And if you follow me on Twitter or on Blue Sky, I posted this in regards to Stormy gave the energy of, I am happy to be here because I no longer have to work with you guys. I left this toxic work environment and I'm thriving. And she is. She set records on TikTok. She's setting records on live streaming in general. Her body glaze is doing very well. Look, when we first were introduced to Stormy, it was sort of like this person that was just there. She was just a guest. They were using her estate for, it was Destiny's event. You guys, again, always keep me informed, told me about Stormy. Then Stormy joined the show and it was like downhill from there. And it's not only Stormy's fault. I don't think Stormy should have done the show. I know why Stormy, in my brain, I don't know this for a fact. I think Stormy did the show because her business at the time wasn't doing as well. Okay, but she said that. Remember, she had, what was it, Kyle on the show talking about where her business was. Did we ever get an update on the lawsuit from her former COO? Just asking. I haven't seen anything in regards to that. But she's been doing very well on TikTok. Her business has been doing very well. She said that she's between LA and New York. She really has not been home. So Stormy she came up there looking great. She's been very transparent about her whatchamacallit, her surgeries and things like that. Looks great. So she came there. She's like, everyone looks great. And she's just like, she was in such a good mood. Okay. They settled. Thank you, Leo. They settled. He got paid. Good. All right. That's awesome. Jersey says they settled. Perfect. What's up? I think that's fantastic. So that was probably her best bet. So thank you guys for the update in the live chat. I rely on you guys. Okay. So they settled their lawsuit. So Stormy is doing very well. But before Stormy even came out, Carlos asked Martell, who do you think is our surprise guest? Martell says, Melody's boyfriend. And Melody's just like, really? I don't even know why we're guessing. I don't know why it was such a surprise, but it probably was a surprise because they hadn't seen Stormy film for weeks and weeks and weeks. So Stormy comes out. She reveals why she decided. First of all, she's going to have another baby via surrogate. So we got an update on that. She also reveals talks about her success with TikTok and live streaming sales in general. So she's doing very, very well with her business. Okay. Royal Court members, we just dropped the call link for you guys. Team Kempire members will drop the call link for you guys in just a second. Okay. So she talks about that. Look, Stormy was glowing. Stormy was happy. She says the reason why she decided to leave was it was either or for her business or the show. She also talks about certain fans. She says the negativity from certain fans was another reason why she decided that she wanted to leave the show. Honestly, look, I was happy for Stormy. Leave the show before the show turns into something that you can't come back from. And we talked about this with reality television before, that so many people do reality television and then they get stuck in this hamster wheel of doing reality television and doing that. She came on the show with a business. She didn't need the show, but did the show help her? I think it did. But she already had her multi-million-dollar business before she joined the show. And I'm pretty sure the show didn't get any percentage of her business. You know, the Bethany clause of it all, because she had the business before then. So Special K says, she didn't say the millimeters, Special K. She says she better not say millimeters because she know that's a lie. Well, she didn't say the millimeters. She said certain fans of the show brought negativity, and she just felt like she needed... Look, at the end of the day, Stormy saw success on TikTok, and she was just like, you know what? I came on this platform to help promote my business. My business is doing well. I'm out of here. Good. That's perfect. Yeah, I agree. Rosalie says, I think after the arrest, she realized that it wasn't worth being on the show. I think that, look, I agree. The minute that it turned into something like that, I'm facing charges because of fans from the show. I don't blame her. So she gives us that update. All right. So the final part of the reunion is where they discuss Kiki Jabar. So as you know, we've talked about Kiki multiple times during the season when she passed away. So a lot of fans have been asking me, like, Kempire, why haven't they talked about Kiki at all? Look, I don't cover all of the stuff that plays out on social media when it comes to this cast, but I did see that there was a lot of conflict, and I wasn't going to get involved. I wasn't going to report on this family conflict because someone has passed away. So I knew that there was a lot of family conflict between Tisha and Kiki's family. So they do this it was a beautiful segment. To me, it was the best part of this 3-part reunion was this segment apparently they did have some sort of vigil or memorial for Kiki that was filmed. So they showed that. And I thought that was beautiful. We saw that Maurice got really choked up in regards to talking about Kimmy and Kimmy as not Kimmy as Kiki for Kiki and Kiki as a mother. And then they just showed so many beautiful moments. They showed moments with all of the cast that Kiki has had, including Melody, and everyone was just emotional. I don't know about y'all. There's no way. I watched that segment twice and I cried every time. Okay? So they show a little bit of what Kiki brought to the show, all right? And the celebration of her life. So when Tisha is asked by Carlos about Kiki and Kiki's family, she doesn't talk about Kiki's family, but she says that she's been in contact with Kiki's children. And one of the things that Tisha is upset about, because she understands how the fans got involved and said that she wasn't a great cousin and blah, 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 blah. And she says for a very long time, her and Kiki before this show were very close. They were like sisters. Although they were cousins, they were very much like sisters. And she wishes that people got to see that side of their relationship on the show. But we also have to remember that Kiki was dealing with her sobriety and her challenges with sobriety and addiction. And that a lot of times can cause rifts in relationships, no matter how close you may have been. Okay? So Carlos asked the group if, they had anything that they wanted to say about Kiki and things like that. Okay? We also find out in this segment, Stormy actually paid for Kiki's funeral. And Stormy says that, I had an affinity to Kiki and the group knows why. And she reached out to Kiki's husband and apparently literally it was like a godsend because they were trying to figure out how to pay for the funeral at that moment. I will say this, and I'm not trying to cause any trouble, but I'm sure a lot of people are having the thought that I had. Why would they need to have Stormy pay for the funeral when Tisha, Kiki's cousin, self-proclaimed millionaires, wouldn't be able to pay for it? Well, I'll say this. Maybe because of how bad the situation was in regards to Kiki's passing, they weren't in communication. I mean, do you need communication in order to pay for something? Look, even if you're hating on me and I know your financial situation, so if Stormy knew Kiki's financial situation, I'm sure Tisha and Marceau knew the financial situation. However, I'm sort of thinking to myself, I'm like, Stormy had to pay for it. Tisha did give Stormy her props for doing that, but I think the reason why Tisha did not pay for Kiki's funeral was because of the tumultuous situation between the families at the time. I mean, still, even though you're having a tumultuous situation between families, I feel like you could still step up and like, I know we're not talking, I know we're fighting, but I want to help, especially because she says that she has a relationship with the kids. I want to help with the funeral. One of the things that Kimmy and Maurice pointed out when asked about if the group wanted to weigh in on Kiki, they're like, be there for the kids. And Maurice says, don't just be there for the kids, praying for them. There are things that these kids are going to need financially. I forget how old Kiki's kids are, but he's like, they're going to need things. And I'm hoping that Tisha, because she is in contact with the kids, that they will be able to help with those kids in any way that they can. But like I said, it did stand out to him. I was like, why did Stormy have to pay for the funeral when we have millionaires over here? Patricia, come on now. Patricia says, hold on, Patricia, I lost your comment. Patricia says, Kempire, I disagree. Tisha didn't pay because she ain't got no damn money. Again, I'm going by what Tisha has told the world. Okay? If you're millionaires, why didn't you pay for it? I'm thinking because of the situation that they were having in the family. Maybe. All right. Team Kempire members, we've dropped the calling for you guys as well. If you want to call in and share some quick thoughts on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Don't forget tomorrow's President's Day, and I know it's a holiday week for a lot of people, so shout out to all of you. Okay. We will be recapping Real Housewives of Potomac reunion tomorrow and Married to Medicine. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoy content like this, we don't just talk about reality television. We talk about everything in pop culture. So be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications. More information on everything Kempire, including how you can get some roses behind me for yourself. This smells so good in the studio. Anyways, let me take a sip. I've been talking so much. Good point, Chanel Star. Chanel Star says, Tisha could have paid for the funeral home directly. All of this is true. These are things that stood out to me. When they said that Stormy paid for the funeral, I was like, oh, why did she have to do that? Okay, but fine. All right, so Tisha talks about how this situation with Kiki reminds her to find resolve with people that you love. Because just when you think that you're always going to have that opportunity, you're not going to have that opportunity. Okay? So she talks about that. So Carlos ends the show with his own little speech because, he has to have the final word and the final moment. And he says that something like this is a reminder that he doesn't want the group to leave the reunion with any regrets. Here's the thing. You can say a lot of stuff, but if the action is not put behind it, if the action is not put within your protocol when filming a reality show, when your actions are inconsistent with what you're saying he even gets emotional. And I'm just like, sir, you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem when it comes to a lot of these family drama, how you've inserted yourself. You aren't really helping solve these family issues. You're capitalizing off of these family issues. And we talked about that during our Surviving Carlos King live that we did this week. When we were talking about So Gucci and her family drama. Like you can sit here and cry all you want. For me, those are alligator tears, crocodile tears. So I'm looking at it doesn't land the way he thinks it's going to land. Oh, we had this beautiful moment and we always try to find resolution, at these reunions. No, you, sir, are the reason why. We're trying to have conversations and then you're jumping to, oh, so you got a crush on Melody? There are a lot of people that talk the talk and there are a lot of people that are just talk. All right? Carlos is just talk. Because the way that you conduct your reality television shows and the way you work with your reality TV personalities is very inconsistent with what you're trying to say to the world. People don't believe your BS. You wanted to have another moment instead of us going around this room and maybe having a conversation back at your cast. You need to have the last word. No. Let's actually hear from everyone else and what they've learned this season. But no, here we are. Look, here we are. Joyce, thank you so much for the super chat. Joyce says, good for Stormy. Marquez makes me vomit. I can't stand him. He takes no accountability, is not responsible. Nell is close to my age and she is annoying. She is still mad about a room tag. Ridiculous. Everything Joyce just said. Joyce has summed it all up, okay? Yazzie, thank you so much for the super chat. Yazzie says, hello, Kemp. I remember seeing Stormy when she was pregnant when Mel used her house for the Telltale Signs video. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, too. Yeah, I forgot about that. So Stormy's sort of been in the background for a very long time with these folks. And it seemed like everyone seemed to be in a good place with Stormy when she came back. And Stormy, but even if they weren't, Stormy didn't care. Stormy gave that energy like when you go back to the job that you really didn't love and you go back to see your coworkers and they're still miserable and unhappy, but you're living your best life on your own terms. Am I talking from experience? But didn't you get that energy? It was like, she just seemed so carefree. All I needed her to do was give us a what's up. That's all I needed. And honestly, I appreciate Stormy's time on the show because we got that one moment from her that I constantly bring up. What's up? All right? Anyways. Let's move on. Let's get to some callers. Guys, if you're a member of the channel, we dropped the call link for you guys. We have 2,600 of you here. Mods, how many likes should we get? We're at 1,100. but we have 2,600 people here. How many more likes should we get to? Let me know in the live chat. And if you're a member, we've already dropped the call-in link for our members on the community tab, the post tab now on YouTube. Keep liking the video. It's easy and it's free. V, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. V says, happy Sunday. Life is short. Let's love one another. Take care of each other and protect your peace. Stop watching Carlos King Productions. She didn't say that. I just added that. Thanks, V, for the super chat. And what you said is very, very true. Okay, let me see what the mods said in regards to how many likes we should get. Mods, what did the mods say? I may have missed it, mods. Let me see. What's up? Oh, 1,250. Okay, I think that's fair. Foxy is very fair with you guys. Look. Mama Allie was like 2,000 Kempire. Oh, okay. Where can we get in between? Look, where can we get in between? Let's get to 1,250 and I'll drop the call link for our general audience as well. Okay. That's hilarious. I can't. Okay. Let me get to the callers. Let me bring up my disclaimer. The opinions of the callers are not the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, our sponsors. Everything that they say is alleged and they agree not to use profanity, derogatory comments. And if they do, they will be banned. Okay. It's very hard to get banned over here, but we had to do it at least twice in the last month. Oops. All right, Miss Esquire's backstage. You're going to bring Miss Esquire up first. Miss Esquire, what's going on?
Hi, good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing really well. So I just want to say that I think the end of the reunion for me was a little triggering because I lost my sister and we were in conflict with each other at the time that she passed, right? Because of, custody disputes and all the things.
Yeah.
And so my heart really goes out to Tisha because I know what it's like to lose a person that you once were extremely close with, but in the latter years, right before their death, you had a lot of conflict and people judging your relationship by that limited time frame. So I would just encourage people to maybe have a little bit more grace with Tisha, because I think she's right. We did not see the totality of their relationship. And when someone's in, heavy addiction and they're in that, that disease process, it's really hard to have a positive relationship with them because they're not themselves.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to say that because I just think people are being really, really hard on her. What I will say is, nothing got resolved. Like Mel and Martell, no resolution. Kimmy and Marceau, Maurice, no transparency. Tisha and Marceau, no story. Ken, Trisha, Marquez, no divorce. Nell and Chris, no name tag. Like, Dusty, no Febreze, no, vacuuming, nothing. There's no kind of resolution nowhere. Very much Aaliyah, we need a resolution and we ain't getting one.
I love that song.
I do too. I just wish it wasn't a theme for this damn show.
Yeah.
I think the issue also is Carlos is just he has very poor skills as a conflict resolution person. Like he cannot sit in tension very much. He has the depth of a kiddie pool when it comes to sitting in the tension of real conflict between people. Like at the end for him to be I just hope y'all can get there because it's not that deep. We just spent 3 parts of a reunion going through the issues these people have with each other, but it's not that deep. It's so dismissive. And so I just think good for Mel that she's left, good for Stormy that she's left. The ones that remain, I don't know how they're going to operate in this space because they don't have any power that's on par with Carlos's. At least Mel kind of did as a creator to a certain extent. So I just don't know what the show is going to look like. But, I'm going to be here for your recaps and I'm going to be here.
I'm not recapping it anymore.
Well, I guess the reunion, because that's the only thing I watched. I watched this show religiously. The first, we don't do seasons. We really do chapters for this show. So I think for the first 5 chapters.
That is perfect.
So I mean, as long as you're going to talk about a child, I'm going to tune in. But if you stop talking about it, I'll be fine. All right. Well, have a good morning.
Thank you, Miss Esquire. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
I appreciate her adding that perspective, especially for Tisha, because I know Espo's rise. Sidebar, Taria, I know you're watching this or listening to this. Taria, I listened back to a segment that we did this week in regards to Carlos. And I said, Espo's rise. And she said, Espo's fall. No, but this week, Espo's rise. I appreciated what Miss Esquire said in regards to giving Tisha grace, especially because we don't know. We're watching an edited show. We don't know the full relationship between Tisha and Kiki. And Kiki said herself that they had a very close relationship growing up. They were like sisters. Okay. All right. Kookie's backstage. We're going to bring Kookie up next. Hold on. Kookie, what's going on?
Hi, I'm a new member here.
Thank you for being a
Just wanted
member.
to say hello. I just wanted to tell you that I think that you have a really great spirit.
Thank you.
I sense a lot of spiritual discernment in you. And I really appreciate that because looking at Carlos, he is similar to the devil. I think he has a very activated spirit when it comes to just doing demonic activity, and a lot of people on that stage did. And I think that when you're insecure and you've had trauma in the past, because I do think Carlos suffers from trauma. Like someone said the other day on one of your calls that he probably has an issue with his mom, and I do think that. I think he has an issue with Black women and women in general, but I think he sees Black women as the most expendable. I think he has romantic affinity for Martell because you have to be far up that man's behind to be letting him do the things that he does. And I just think that he kind of has like a bit of self-hatred. And so just seeing you on your platform kind of like take notice of the energies that people exude and be able to hold people accountable, like every single cast member. You obviously don't have any favorites. Or if you do, it doesn't let you stop you from giving a fair opinion. I really appreciate that.
I don't have any favorites.
I wish I would have subscribed sooner because I wish all those seasons 1 through 9 or 1 through 5, I would have really appreciated seeing your discernment as well on those past reunions and stuff like that. And I am also done with the show. It was just too dark.
Yeah.
I didn't like the attack, and I feel really sorry. I used to love Kimmy. But I see that she has fallen in line with the Scotts. I know they had that meeting with her. It's like, you got to act like you like Tisha. You got to have her back. It's just too contrived for me. And I agree that Carlos does not know how to sit in tension. Like, he's just like, okay, let's move on, because at the end of the day, he's about making that buck. He wants people to spill their guts, go through trauma, and be able to, strap your boots up again and do it all over again. And that's not how people really work. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Kookie. We appreciate you calling in. One thing I will say, and I think this is such a big thing in regards to telling you about someone's character. When we talked about the whole Candy situation, and Candy alleged that he went to Candy's mother to try and get information without being fully transparent as to what he was doing. That told me everything about his character. When people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Okay? Here's Taria. Taria, you sent me some messages this morning. I have not, because I'm preparing in the morning, so I didn't have any time to listen to your messages. I'll listen after. Taria says, I'm watching by Espos and test messaged. And test message. You know what? Leave the Espos alone. We're being nice to the Espos. Espos rise. No fall. Go back and listen to the collab that we just did this week with me and Taria, and follow her YouTube channel and podcast. Taria, where are you at in regards to the numbers? I think Taria was at like 3,500 or something like that. Look at y'all showing up and showing out. Ariel, thank you so much for the super chat. Ariel says, did you notice that Latricia's nodding her head yes when saying no to Carlos's question about when she was at Martell's house? Okay, body language expert. I think Trisha's a liar. I hate to say it, because in the beginning I believed her because we really didn't know her, and we know Martell is a liar. But Trisha is a liar. She even lied. Why would we think that she would be truthful to us when she can't be truthful to her partner, the man that she loves? If she can't be honest to him, why would she be honest to us? Vanessa says that was cold when Marquez said that she ain't gonna marry you. In regards to Marquez speaking to Ken. Well, was he lying? Was he lying? All right. Let me get to the rest of our members backstage. Live chat. Oh, yeah. I did say I was going to. Wait. Okay. Hold on. There's 2 Tishas backstage. Wait. Okay. I'll get to our members. Members, I'm giving you free reign in regards to time, but don't suck up all the time, okay? But those of you that are calling in, I will be giving you a timer. I'll give you a minute, okay? So, all right, I have Winter backstage, I have Born to Win, and I have Tish, okay? So I will be taking their calls next, okay? And those are our members. All right, Winter, what is going on, Winter?
Hi, Kempire. How
Hey.
you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
Good. So, my daughter's not letting me be good. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
But my thoughts are that I felt bad for Tisha. Like, you could tell she was like trying to just explain how her relationship with Kiki was growing up. Like, I kind of understood that part. I'm like, just don't go based off of what you see on TV.
Yeah.
Because, they had many years of being like sisters. Like,
Yep.
so I felt like that was like, she looked really hurt. You could tell people been crucifying her online. And then Marquez is like, I couldn't take him serious. When he was arguing back with Ken and they're like going back and forth about their co-parenting, like I'm just looking at him like, you sound like a whiny teenager. Like, if you don't be quiet, like his points weren't hitting. Like, I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, and then Ken too, though, like, I understand that he's saying like, I'm stepping up as a man for your kids, but he's just like, he sounds like he's doing a little too much. Like, I need you to chill because your girl's a liar. And, she's part of the problem too.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, what is going on here? Like, once again, I felt like the reunion was like discombobulated. I was like, oh my God, I forgot that they went on a trip. Like, it was so long ago. I'm like, oh, that was this season? Like, I was just so confused. And I'm like, why was that not something that was talked about in the beginning? Like, this is all over the place. I felt like Bell Collective's reunion was the same way. Carlos doesn't know how to organize the reunions and hit the points. But let me go because my daughter's not letting me be good. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, Winter. Bye. All right, we're going to bring up Born to Win next. Born to Win, what did you want to share about Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Happy Sunday.
You too.
I did not watch the reunion, but I listened into the callers this morning, and I do agree with a few of them. The fact that there is no resolution. And then one thing I would like to say to add to that is that when I did watch Dustin and Carlos review of the second reunion and review, and you can kind of tell that whenever Dustin is really trying to he's making valid points, and he's really kind of giving his honest opinion about maybe a character, say a Kimmy, who he really did like before. And he's kind of disappointed. I think Miss Esquire, someone said that earlier, which also I did like Kimmy as well. You can kind of see how Carlos, his face kind of turns like, what are you doing? Are you really trying to make sense here? It's almost like he doesn't like when Dustin is really
honest.
Yeah, when he's being very honest, then there you go. When he's being honest and is making valid points about, these characters, and it's like, dude, it's like,
Are you saying we should start the hashtag Free Dustin?
We should free Dustin because I don't think Dustin is really being himself anymore. And I really used to love Dustin. I'm listening to him, but now I feel like Dustin is kind of being a little, what's the word? I don't know what about, maybe disingenuous, I would say, because he's not, he's not, yeah. Not hashtag Free Dustin. Look at you. Happy Sunday, y'all.
Everyone drop the Free Dustin in the chat. Hashtag Free Dustin. Thank you, Born to Win.
All right, bye.
Well, here's the thing, because I have conversations with Taria. Taria told me, sorry, Taria, am I talking too much? Taria also told me the same thing, that a lot of people have been saying in the last couple of recaps that Dustin is not the same Dustin. Free Dustin. See, this is why when you get involved with certain people, when you stop being yourself and you can't share your real opinion, it's like, ooh, T says, yep, Dustin has been giving his orders. Damn. Oh, Taria hit 3.72 thousand subscribers on her YouTube channel. If you guys haven't subscribed, be sure to check it out. Be sure to check out our collaboration this past week as well. Okay, let me pull this up. Team Too Much, thank you so much for the super chat. Team Too Much says, I think Carlos has the ability to be a good conflict resolution facilitator, but he has shown us time and time again that he loves to mess more. I think we all have potential to be good conflict resolution facilitators if that's our intention. If that's not our intention, of course we're going to come across disingenuous, come across messy. It's all about your intentions. Everybody go to Twitter and put hashtag free Dustin. I'm playing. We love Dustin over here. We love Dustin. I met Dustin at the Summer House Martha's Vineyard premiere party last year. Lovely, lovely person. Free Dustin. Espos fries. All right. Tish is backstage. We're going to bring her up next. Hold on. Tish, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Is my background okay? I was out shopping and I had to run to the car so that it could be a little quiet.
I can't even see you.
Well, here. I'm like here. Like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're fine.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
So, I too am glad to be no longer watching the show. Yeah, this was straight trash. I think everyone on that stage sucked for the most part. Let's see. Melody, in her effort to be above the mess, I feel like she is like trying to prove too much and she's coming off disingenuous. She's coming off as team too much and it's unappealing. It's not cute to watch. And so I'm actually glad that she quit the show because whatever healing journey that she's on, I feel like she's going to be able to commit to it because she won't be around such triggering and toxic people. Martell, I'll come back to Martell. Trisha and Ken. Trisha to me is kind of tragic. It's really kind of tragic because Trisha could be such a
Are
great
you talking about her
person.
wig or about her storyline?
All of it.
Oh.
All of it from the looks and consistently though, right? Like her looks have been consistently tragic. Just not dressing for the occasion, constantly thinking she's going to the club. Like, I get it, you a baddie, you got a nice body. But dress for the occasion, especially on a platform like this. We're not on Love and Hip Hop. We're not on, well, you know, the platform has gone down. OWN used to be a reputable platform. Yeah. But I feel like Carlos King and a lot of his shows and his antics have really kind of lowered the value of the channel and the quality of content that they put out. But back to Trisha, knowing that she's so intelligent when it comes to books, but not when it comes to like life and experiences and just being a good person is really disappointing. I'm not sure if you mentioned this about Ken, but there was one part where I think Marquez said, "Oh, she need help or she need to be saved," and Ken was like, "Oh, I'll save her or I'll help her." And I was just like, this man can't help being a savior, can't help like just wanting to help somebody. Like, it is so unattractive for him to be this type of person where he feels like he has to basically die to himself or be all and end all for her. She's lied to you. And as much as he says this is the one occasion where she's lied, like it was a really big lie. Yeah. And not only that, it was caught on camera and repeatedly. So it's like, not only did she lie to you, she also gaslit you. So for him to kind of like downplay it or make it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal, I agree with you. There's a lot of red flags where it comes to Ken, where he's just willing to overlook a lot of things in order to feed his ego and feed his self-esteem. It's not attractive. And he's an attractive guy. So the fact that he doesn't have that, like, the mental capacity to understand that certain situations don't deserve him, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Going back to kind of what Melody said about the alliances and the different teams, I hate when that happens on shows. I remember when Roa had the talls versus the smalls. I hate alliances because I feel like they're inauthentic. There's no accountability. You're siding with this person because they're your friend and not because right is right and wrong is wrong. Yeah. And to know that like they built this whole reunion off of an alliance, knowing what Martell did, like these people have no morals, they have no standards, they have no ethics, and that's the reason why they're in the situation that they're in now. I know they're going to be trying to salvage the show, but I honestly believe that there's no redeemable qualities about the show. They would really have to start over from scratch with a bunch of people that we don't know and are actually interested in learning about their storylines in order for me to tune in again.
All right. Tish, thank you so much for calling in.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Take care. All right. We're going to bring up some more callers in just a second, guys. We're almost at 1,500 likes. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Marilyn, thank you so much for being here. Marilyn says, hi, Kempire. How are you? I'm well. She says, always good to see you and listen to you. I love Dustin too, but free Dustin. Y'all start this on Twitter. It's my own fault. Sin says, Owen went from Queen Sugar, you remember that show, to King Ish. Damn. Okay. Rohina? I apologize if I'm mispronouncing. I'm pretty sure. Thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate your support as well. Guys, again, you can support just by liking today's video, but we appreciate the super chats, the Venmos, the Cash Apps, all of that. I normally see your Cash Apps and your Venmos and your PayPals after the live. So I just want to say thank you in advance for those that send it. Shout out to those of you that send in the super thanks in the comment section. We appreciate that as well. Taria, thank you so much for the super chat. Taria says, Carlos is tweeting up a storm, y'all. Hashtag free Dustin. I heard that. Do I need to go to his Twitter account? What is he saying? What is he saying? Hold on. I'm just going to... Damn, this is going to be a long live. What is he saying? Oh, give me a synopsis, Taria. Is that what you texted me earlier today? Was it about that? What is he saying? A mess. Anyways, I'll get back to that because we're live. All right. I'll get back to that. But again, hashtag free Dustin. All right. Let's bring up Tyler next. Hold on, Tyler. I'm just scrolling down to the comments. There we go. All right. Tyler, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. So I want to say this. Carlos King, where he's wrong at, it's so obvious that he's trying to pattern his show after every scandal that's going on Bravo. If you think about it, it's been revealed that he was trying to get, what is Martell Coleslaw, her on the show. You really were trying to enforce that after you seen that Sweet Tea came on Married to Medicine. You saw that happened on Orange County. Like, you're trying to pattern yourself after every single thing that you see that Bravo does, and it's inauthentic. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me say this. I think that they naturally have drama in there. Things are naturally going to happen with them. You do not have to overproduce this and put your foot in it, because let's be real, you single-handedly ruined the Housewives of Atlanta. While it was great and it was good, one thing that people fail to realize is Kenya was an amazing person until he put his hands with her and started telling her, overdo things, overdo this, do that. Just listen to some of the interviews where she was like, yeah, I was talking to you on the sideline. Kenya is the only one who never cussed me out. He does too much. Step aside and let the showrunner do their thing. You don't have to do that. Last but not least, I think that Ken and Trisha are a very handsome couple. However, I said handsome. But anywho, however, I do feel, she does look like Squidward when he got cute. But what I will say is, Marquez or whoever, something is mentally not there, but there is a sense of them kind of taunting him to me. Like, it's like, chill out. Y'all are doing too much, and he's not doing enough. And it's like something is going to collide and it's going to go super bad. Like, you're already a liar, Trisha, whatever your name. You just lying. You saw Martell and you wanted a piece of that. Girl, just say that. Just say it. You saw him, you wanted a piece of that. I don't know why you wanted a piece of it, but you did. And hopefully you went to your local health department afterwards, but you did. And just say that. And you should say that it doesn't interfere with what I have going on now. And even if it does, you're with someone else while you're married. So it doesn't matter what you did. Obviously, he doesn't care. So why are you lying? He's going to be with you regardless. As far as Melody, I do not blame her for packing her stuff up and leaving. And I feel as though Melody's attitude towards these people is warranted. They have purposely sat there and taunted that woman for years, even like trying to blame her for being cheated on and things like that, not holding Martell accountable until he says crazy things about them. Let's be real. So I don't blame Melody. I do not blame her. I would quit too, because doesn't she own a portion of the show anyway? Am I wrong? Doesn't she? Does she get a side check? I'm not sure. But if she does, I would leave because Carlos King is leading this down to a path of destruction. And when people say it's like Love and Hip Hop, I think people forget who was a main producer on the first couple of seasons of Love and Hip Hop. And that should tell you right then and there. Carlos was definitely there. Carlos was definitely there. But that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. People are calling in of their own free will. Don't think I'm paying people to come up here and share what has been out there. So I went to Carlos's Twitter. So apparently, can y'all behave yourself? Right? Look at this. So Carlos posted this on his Twitter, and he is on a Twitter rant right now, but he's highlighting all of you. Look. There will always be an audience for everyone. There will always be someone that's going to like what you do or dislike what you do. There are plenty of people that don't like how I conduct myself or how I conduct my channel. Understandable. I'm not for everyone. I'm not a people pleaser. That's not one of my issues, okay? So if you don't like me, I'm okay with that. We don't know each other. I'm all right with that. Okay, so there always will be an audience for people, he's got his raindrops, okay? All right, so Carlos posted this like 3 hours ago because he's feeling the backlash. And you remember when Taria was here, Taria had said that he's been pre-recording the Love and Marriage Huntsville recaps instead of doing them live. He could be busy. But some people are saying he's doing that to avoid the backlash of the live chat and things like that. Okay, so Carlos posted this like 3 hours ago on his social media. He says, in 2025, can we please shift the narrative that I'm trying to be like anyone else? I'm literally the only CEO of a full-service production company, fully staffed, plus an on-air personality, which shows. Okay, he says, like, I'm one of one. Happy Black History Month. Okay. Why? I guess this is Alex in the chat. Is tagging me. He says, Kempire is for the culture. Thank you, Alex. He says, meanwhile, you out here paying top dollar to get that black dust effed off your forehead while you manipulate black women. Then he adds Candy in the comments. Okay. Warned us about you, allegedly. Why am I being brought up in this situation? Okay, fine. He's reposting a lot of what people are saying. He even he posted Canvas Beauty, Stormy in the comment section about 2 hours ago where she says that Carlos King, thank you. You're one of the most talented people I know and great at everything you touch. #King. Okay. I'm not going to say he's not talented, okay? So he's reposting what a lot of people are saying in regards to this. Of course, people that are highlighting him, okay? All right? Let me see. Because, okay, that was the only original thing that he did. So he's just reposting what all of you are saying, I guess to make himself feel better. All I'm going to say, #free Dustin. #free Dustin. And his opinion. Please and thank you. All right. Kisco says, told you, Kempire, you triggered him with your video. And he's not the only one. Look, I gave my opinion in that video. However, I also just laid out all the information that's out there from multiple people that have worked with him. That's all I did. I even gave you his side. I even defended him on some stuff. Just saying. Free Dustin. All right, let me get to the rest of these calls. Callers, please respect the timer so that we're able to get to everyone because it is Sunday and I got other work to do. Okay. Baby Aaliyah is backstage. You're going to bring Baby Aaliyah up next. Baby Aaliyah, what's going on? You're muted, Baby Aaliyah. Baby Aaliyah. All right, I'm about to drop you, Baby Aaliyah. Sorry. Janae's backstage. You're going to bring Janae up next. Janae, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I love your honesty. It's so refreshing. And thank you for standing up for us Black women and the Black culture in all. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that
I feel like there are too many sloppy producers in our culture and in our community wanting to tear each other down just to sit at a table that was never for us to begin with. But I feel like the reunion was a hot mess. I feel like it was a tragic. I feel like it was a setup to come after Mel. It was a takedown for Mel. They do it on all shows. They find a target and then they take them down one by one. And it's just like, okay, so now that Mel is gone, you know, the rest of the rattlesnakes that are in the box, if you shake up the box, what the snakes do, they turn on each other.
Ooh.
So I can't wait to see them come. Who's going to go against who? Is it going to be Letitia versus Kimmy? Is it going to be Kimmy and Letitia versus the trash box, the real trash box versus Mel? Because how you going to call this lady trash when you went to her husband's home and you was kicking it with her husband and you going to call this lady trash? And you're still married, by the way, with your boyfriend while you went to your side piece's house. Girl, bye.
Ooh. Janae, thank you so much for calling in. And look, I think we're going to go back because the fact that you pointed out everyone's going to turn on each other. And then you mentioned Tisha and Kimmy going back at it. I was like, wait and see. I felt like, oh no, you might be right.
And that DUI, Maurice, nobody disparaged your character but you, sir. You're the one who decided to get in the car and drive drunk.
Allegedly. All right. Thanks, Janae.
Allegedly.
Thanks, Janae.
You have a good day, darling.
You too. We're only saying allegedly because those charges have been dismissed. But okay. Kiki's backstage. We're going to bring Kiki up next. Kiki, what's going on? Hey, are you in church? Wait, where?
No,
Where are you?
I'm at work.
Oh.
I'm at work.
Okay.
I have to sneak in. Yeah,
Wait.
hello, can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh my God, I barely could make it to work today. There was a snowstorm, or rather, there's a snowstorm in Toronto still ongoing. Yeah, sorry, I can't find it. I'm so sorry. Please keep quiet. Yeah, okay. So yeah, there's a snowstorm. Anyways, I'm at work. I need that money because I'm traveling to Nigeria.
Okay.
And I need money to, spend. So yeah, so I still need to do my part-time hustle.
Yeah.
Anywho's, Kempire, I cannot seem to get into this love and marriage Huntsville. I am struggling to get into it. Kudos to you for recapping this stuff every week. Like, I don't know how you have the energy to, but well, kudos to you. Secondly, what does expose rise mean?
Say that again?
You always say expose rise. What does that mean?
Expose? Remember we always used to joke about Tisha and how she pronounced it expo. She would say espo. So I say those are her fans. Espos.
Oh, got it. Okay. And then thirdly, Kempire, please, I want to be a member, but I don't want to do it monthly. Is there a way to just subscribe like for a year and pay it upfront?
I don't think you can do that on YouTube, but stay tuned. I might be doing that for another thing, but stay tuned.
Okay, please. And then lastly, please, Kempire, I'm begging you in God's name, can you please just recap Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. I've been waiting to hear from you.
Well, Kiki, we've been talking about it. We don't talk about it every single week, but we have done a couple of videos, more than a couple of videos on it. The last video that we did, we were talking about that sexy voice note that he left, Blake.
But there's been so much coming up after, so please, I need you to...
Okay. Well, okay, yeah. Stay tuned. I'm sure there's more coming, so I will do another live talking about that again. Okay? Thank you, Kiki. Get back to work. Bye. We got to go to Nigeria. Come on. A lot of y'all this week have been at work and y'all been calling in. Hopefully you're off this week. Well, I guess not. Maybe Monday you'll be off. So we should have a good live tomorrow. Everyone will be off tomorrow. All right. Unless, did they change it? Is it no longer a federal holiday? Can't. She was hilarious. Okay. Uniboo is backstage. We're going to bring Uniboo up next. Uniboo, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Real quick. So about Stormy paying for the funeral.
Yes.
I think it's kind of good because Tisha had a lot of death in her family. So I think anything to help is good.
Yeah.
Because she had a couple of her auntie died plus Kiki died. So it's a lot of money for funeral.
Good point.
So I think that's actually good that any help, anything help,
Yeah.
So for Marquez, right? Marquez, so many M. One of the M.
I know.
So I think he made an interview with Queen Sheba.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I understand from his point of view is that he is an emotional man. not that there's nothing wrong with being emotional, but at least be in control of your emotion. Like he wear his heart on his sleeve. He's very emotional. He's very like, I guess, in tune with his emotion, which is a good thing. But I feel like he's a little bit immature, and I think he's still trying to figure it, figure life. And plus, he was raised in a straight gospel, churchy type of shelter life, which I was also raised in a shelter life, so I can kind of understand the certain things you kind of put up with being like in a shelter. So I understand that part of him, but that's about it.
Okay. Thank you, Unibu, for calling in.
Sure. All right.
Bye. All right, we have a few more callers backstage. Live chat, we did post a call link for you guys to call in, but if you're a member of the channel, we've posted the call link on the post tab. We're taking a couple more callers. We're going to bring up Joyce next. Hold on. Joyce, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. I know I wrote something earlier, but I just wanted to talk about Stormy again.
Okay.
She just permeates the happiness and the glow she has now since she's gone from that toxic environment. She is permeating happiness and peacefulness. She looks good. And I'm happy for her, and I'm happy her business is blooming again. As far as Ken and Lockjaw is concerned, he's going to be the one ending up on the short end of the stick. She's not, I don't care if she signed a paper, she got him notarized. I don't think she's getting a divorce. And she's really not ready to get married again. She really needs to heal herself. Marquez, that bum, that's my personal opinion. He needs to heal himself. And Ken needs to step back because he's doing all this. He's doing husbandly duties and they're not even married. And she's not ready to get married. And she, for some reason, she doesn't want to tell him that she's not ready to get married. So to me, it's like communication. She needs to heal herself. Ken needs to step back. And Marquez needs to, if he wants to be known as a father, act like a father. And that's it. I'll see you on Friday.
All right, Joyce. See you Friday. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. I keep forgetting. Y'all keep reminding me, yeah, I have a show Friday. Guys, don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live experience is happening at the Green Room 42 here in New York City this Friday. Get your tickets today. More information on that will be available in the description. And for those that like watching me here on the live stream and you're not in New York City, there's a live stream option as well. Okay? All right, Amy's backstage. We're going to bring Amy up next. Hey, Amy, what's going on with you and your new photo?
Hey, how you guys doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, my official Valentine's Day happened today.
Oh, excuse me.
Of course, I'm not dealing. It's over with. But I got a call saying they had the flu. So let's move on.
Oh.
Ain't that something?
The flu is going around, though, Amy.
Not at our big age, right?
Look, the flu is going around.
But still, not at our big age. Come on now.
It happens. Look.
No, honey. No, honey. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. I didn't hear everything about this Dustin thing, but I did watch the reunion. And two things that stuck out to me that just didn't Ken calling that man a bum. That disturbed me because I'm like, at the end of the day, like, if you're going to help out, just help out. But I think he's fueling the discord between the two parents. And my thing is, if you're going to help out, it's the savior thing. It's a lot of stuff. And I think he is so handsome, right? But it's certain things that are just rubbing me wrong. And I just don't like how he acted with that guy. Okay, he clearly has issues. He's not able to take care of, but that's still someone's father. And it's not your place to, like, put that label on him. Now, if the kids called him a bum, that's two different things. I can care less. But him doing it, it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And Trish, girl, no, she just looked a mess. And then on top of that, I think someone said, just be honest with yourself and stop lying. I feel like she's the biggest, messiest person on that stage. I guess she wants to be in the fray of drama. But Melody, I have to say, when I watched Melody, I was shocked how bad these people kind of went off on her. But again, I understand it. But I'm glad she's leaving the show. The rest of the only thing I did say that was really good when Miss Stormy came out and they talked about the cousin. I'm sorry, I can't get her name
Kiki.
right now.
Kiki.
Kiki, I really felt bad about the Kiki situation. And I think that is the big example of why Carlos King's shows needs to, like, take a different direction. Because a large part of their beef had to do with him exposing and putting a lot of stuff on that show that wasn't for us to see or us to put our opinions on. And I feel bad that happened to her. So that was like the the thing that made me realize that maybe this show needs to go because people are really unaliving themselves. And it's scary to see that he's still sitting there smiling and saying he does so much for the culture. It's a mess. So, yeah, that was my commentary. Thank you all. Have a nice one.
Thank you, Amy. Take care. Amy, go do something for yourself. Don't worry about that man. Just saying. Okay. All right. Let me bring up Gemini, no LA girl. Or NOLA girl. There we go. Sorry.
Hey, good afternoon, Kempire. I think it's afternoon.
Yeah.
So just a few things that I want to bring up. The segment on Tisha, Stormy, and Kiki really tugged at my heartstrings. I'm so sorry that Tisha didn't get any resolve with her cousin before she passed away because life really is too short, and I felt for her in that moment. Stormy looks amazing. She looks like a whole weight has been lifted off of her since she left that show.
Yep.
It's too toxic. While I appreciate what she did for Kiki, I didn't like that she put it out there. To me, it was no different than Nell putting out that she had helped Destiny when she was in need of help. I see it the same way. Let that person, that's their story to tell. So to me, it would have been a mean story to tell. Thank you, Stormy. We really appreciate everything that you did for our family member. Carlos needs to just revamp or get rid of this show altogether because it's too toxic. He's too toxic and he's very, very dangerous. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Gemini.
And I'm sorry that I'm going to miss your live stream. I'm here in Louisiana and it's Mardi Gras season. So I have balls lined up until Mardi Gras.
Oh, excuse me. But next time, Nola girl, enjoy yourself.
Yes. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. I got to get to New Orleans. Not this time of the year, though, because I don't like crowds like that. Let me just say thank you, Jordan. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Jordan says, "Hey, Camp, I've been in the replay crew for over 3 years, but recently became an official member. You're my friend in my head. Glad I caught alive." Thank you, Jordan. Shout out to you. Shout out to the replay crew. I know there's so many of you that end up being the replay crew because I do go live the majority of the time during the day. I do have some nighttime lives, but I get it. I go live a lot. There's a lot of content, but I appreciate all of you that do watch, that are part of the replay. So shout out to the replay crew. Let me know that you're part of the replay crew in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on everything that we covered in our very last. And look, I say last now. It's my hope it's the last. But we shall see. If they revamp the show, if you guys tell me, Kempire, please recap the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm not saying that I won't do it, but I feel like this is closed the chapter, at least for me. My Sundays are my Sundays again. Yay. Because look at this. The Sunday, I've been live for almost 2 hours. I could be sitting down watching the rain fall against my window pane. Anyways. Let's bring up Kimberly next. Kimberly, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Yeah, I can. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to say that there's a lot of things I was going to say, but people have already said them, and it's fine. I also want to, and so I already said, but I did want to say I'm excited for your live stream show on Friday. I'm excited to get a ticket and maybe be able to go. I was hoping to be able to fly down, but right now, if I fly anywhere, number one, planes are falling off the sky, and the weather is so crazy. I'm in Wisconsin. Moving on. I'm excited. I am excited to see you live. And I love you, but I have to say, I do blame you for Love and Marriage Hip Hop. No, sorry. Love, whatever this show we watching. Because I enjoy listening to you so much that I was trying to figure out what was going on. So I started watching this stuff because you was talking about it. So all I got to say, and I'm a woman of my free will, so I'm not totally blaming you. But if you decide to, I'm fine with you not doing it ever again. But if you do it, I'm probably, even within my own free will, going to listen to it and watch it. But I just want to say that blame goes both ways. You blame us, but I blame you. Ooh. And I love you.
Thank you. Damn.
And that was not a read. That was just like
being honest.
Just want you to know. You keep saying, I'm like, no, but it's not me. I didn't do this to myself. But I kept doing it because he was doing it. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you, Kimberly.
It's time for Friday.
Yes, bye, Kimberly. Kimberly's going to be watching the live stream option of the Kempire After Dark, a live show this Friday that will be here in person in New York City. So if you're in New York, if you're in the tri-state area, if you're in Connecticut, if you're in New Jersey, if you're in what other parts, Long Island, come to the show. Why not? All right. Marilyn, we talked about this. Go back and watch one of our recasts. Marilyn says, Kempire, did you know that Marquez comes from a very well-to-do family? His father was a professional football player. His grandparents have coins. He's pretty much a trust fund baby. Now it makes sense. I don't know if we should say he's a trust fund baby, because just because their parents did well doesn't mean that they've passed that on to him, especially if he's begging Ken and Trisha for money to come and see his kids. I know people will say, well, that's what they said. I believe them in regards to that. All right. But look, we unpacked that like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and we looked up the father and things. His father was handsome too. Look, Nisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Nisha says the Scots really did a number on Kiki, and then Tisha said that Kiki was dead to her, so she gets no grace from me. I'm still going to give Tisha grace because she did lose someone that she was very close to and that she considered a sister. Rita, thank you so much for the super chat. Rita says, listening while on my evening walk. See you on Friday. Rita, when do you fly out? Rita's coming all the way from Germany. So those of you that are in New York that are not coming or they haven't gotten your ticket yet, she's booked a flight all the way from Germany to come see us live. Okay? We're going to be talking about Diddy, Jay-Z, Wendy Williams. We're going to be talking about Real Housewives, Married to Medicine. And we're going to be talking about Carlos. Yep. We're going to be talking about you, Carlos. Buckle up. Okay. Anyways. All right. We have Ruth backstage. We're going to bring Ruth up next. Ruth, what's going on? What did you want to share? Ruth? Are you there? Uh-oh. Ruth is muted. Ruth dropped out. What's going on, bro? All right. Ruth, call back if you want to call back. All right. Miss Sharon is backstage. Miss Sharon, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I just have one quick question.
Mm-hmm.
When Marquez was talking and Kimmy asked him a question or was responding to him, did Maurice tell her to stay out of it?
Wait, say it one more time. Did Maurice say to stay out of what?
Out of that conversation between Marquez and his wife, ex-wife, whatever she is.
Not his ex-wife. They're still married.
Yeah. Did Maurice tell Kimmy to stay out of it, that conversation?
I don't think so. I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to know. I saw it, but I didn't really hear what Maurice's response was to Kimmy when she was questioning Marquez.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I don't remember seeing that. Queen of Premier says yes, he did. Shireen says yes, he did. So, I mean, the Kimmy that we used to know and love is not who. She's not there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the only question I had because I could have sworn I was watching two things at one time.
Okay.
And I'll see you Friday.
All right. Miss Sharon's got her live stream ticket. All right. Thank you, Miss Sharon. All right. So everyone in the chat is saying, yes, he did. Miss Mel imagines that he swatted her to be quiet. I didn't even notice it. See how many times I had to rewind just to catch like little things? Why should Kimmy be quiet? It's a reunion for people to react to. Don't swat me. Basham says that Kimmy is definitely a shell of herself. Lord. Allie says the Kimmy that fought Wanda over Melody is long gone. And to me, it's not even about fighting for Melody. It's fighting for yourself. There's just so many things. Ever since that whole storyline of him wanting to have a sexy time with her and she was going through chemotherapy, I don't know. Anyways, shout out to everyone that called and we appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Shout out to those of you in the live chat. We appreciate you guys as well. Shout out to our King's Guard. Shout out to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate it. Shout out to those of you that are part of the replay crew. We appreciate you as well. Nib says that he gestured her to be quiet. Kay Avery says he said, let him answer. Okay, I mean, that's a little different than telling her to be quiet. Anyways. All right, y'all. We've talked for almost 2 hours about love and marriage, love and hip hop, as some of y'all called it, Love and Hip Hop Huntsville. I don't think it's love and hip hop, but it's definitely something. It's definitely something. Anyways, hashtag free Dustin. I will see you guys in the next recap, which will be Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine tomorrow. But as you know, here on the channel, you don't just get everything about Real Housewives of reality television. We talk about everything in pop culture. And yesterday, we gave you an update in regards to Jay-Z and Diddy's lawsuit, where they were being sued for harming a 13-year-old girl. It's now been voluntarily dismissed. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out here on the Kempire YouTube channel. All right. I will see you all in the next one. Again, more information on everything Kempire, including Factor Meals, Rose Forever, our live show this Friday. Get your tickets today. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.